through. Tough management requires an abundance of communication that is clear, concise, timely, and truthful. Clear communication that is clearly received aligns those creating strategy with those executing throughout the ranks. 2. Force the hard decisions. Making the hard decisions when they need to be made at work is tough. The majority of executives and managers say their superiors do not deal with tough decisions right away. Managers need to collect all the necessary information available at the time, make the decision, communicate it, and then move on. The toughest decisions involve people, but they still have to be dealt with in a timely manner. Forcing the hard decisions also requires forcing office politics out of the equation. 3. Focus on results. Tough management requires that every person identify exactly the results that matter most at any given time and determine actions that produce those results. This requires focus, working smarter and harder, increasing productivity, and delegating. It also means being more realistic about what results are being demanded, whether you're the one doing the demanding or the one being demanded to execute, and assuring that both parties agree on the necessary tools and time frame needed to deliver those results. 4. Remain flexible. Managers today need to be organized so they can change directions quickly to keep pace with the changing needs of their organization and customers. Executives and managers are under increasing stress at work, especially because there is more to do than there is time to do it. Tough management requires pushing back and saying no at times, as well as morphing to be flexible. It also requires stopping something, such as institutionalized tasks, projects, or meetings at work, and viewing yourself as more of a virtual enterprise. Flexibility can help managers deal with changing employee loyalty. 5. Prove your value to the company. It is essential that you align with your company's values so that you can prove your value inside the enterprise. This means accepting even more new challenges and becoming the person everyone turns to for solutions. However, there is a fine line between proving your value and having the organization take advantage of you. Working away from the office and using commuting time can help you focus more on what you deliver rather than on number of hours worked. 6. Force collaboration. Tough management requires teamwork at every level. You can force collaboration by mapping vision statements specifically to members of the management team, with integrated results. This requires new levels of information sharing and a new willingness to learn. 7. Practice tough management without being a tough guy. You can deliver quantitative results without being brutal to subordinates in the process. Tough management requires executives and managers to pause at work, since workload and hours worked are getting out of control, potentially causing a lost perspective. It means breaking away, improving employee morale, and taking steps to protect the talent. It also involves recognizing people for doing a good job and providing what is necessary for them to do their jobs better. Chapter 1. Communicate clearly. Communication is king in business. However, it is much like communicating with children. You state your point in a way that you consider to be very clear and obvious to the listener, while the listener hears something totally different. Listeners hear what they want or expect to hear, or even worse, interpret what they think you meant as opposed to what you said. Tough management requires an obsessive attention to the effectiveness of all communication, including the what, when, how, and most important, the why of what you are communicating. In addition, the frequency and tone of the communication are important. In the noisy and fast-paced world of today, it is increasingly important for business people to share ideas, discuss tasks, and clearly communicate vision and direction. The overwhelming majority, 94%, of senior executives and managers rank communicating well as the most important skill for them to succeed today and tomorrow. Effective, consistent communication is the key because by so doing, a leader can attract and retain the only sustainable competitive advantage there is, a focused, motivated, and committed workforce, says one senior executive at a small company. Says another, most important.